Welcome to 50 Nights of Fright. I'm Tommy, joined with Hayden. Today we are covering Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray. All right, Hayden, now had you seen this version of Dorian Gray before, or any version for that matter?
Just watched it for the first time last night.
Okay, so it's based on a book. Did you have any idea what you were getting yourself into before it, or?
No, I had no clue. I didn't even know that. I had never even heard anything. The name Dorian Gray, I'd never heard of the book or anything until the movie starts and it says based off the Oscar Wilde novel or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then so I realized that it was a predated story.
Yeah.
But I'd never even heard of anything to do with Dorian Gray, and I looked into it. There's multiple adaptations of this movie, so I kind of want to see
a few more.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's a lot of good versions to go off of, but I particularly like this one because of the main actor, Hurd Hatfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love his performance because of that very emotionless. It takes a lot of, I think, restraint as an actor to be able to portray someone that's dead inside.
Yeah, every time that Dorian is on screen, he just seems so emotionless. He never even expresses any sort of emotion at all. Mm-hmm. I think he smiles a couple times at the beginning of the movie before he sees that the painting is finished, but after that,
smiling gives you wrinkles. He doesn't want.
Yeah, exactly. So he just seems so it's just dead face the entire time. It's really well.
Oh yeah. That's why I look so youthful. I never smile. So one of the uses of the black and white of the film and the color splashes of just the portrait, I really like that because this came after Wizard of Oz, which famously, 1937, one of the first movies with all that Technicolor.
It switches from black and white to just color after the first few scenes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But this one only uses it to show the portrait, which I think was a great choice from the film.
Especially later on when you see when he finally reveals like how corrupted and evil the picture is, and it adds so much impact when you see the blood after he kills Basil.
Yeah,
it's just so much impact that color adds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So was there any scene in particular that stood out to you in this? Anything that still gives you the heebie-jeebies or anything like that?
There's a couple of scenes where Dorian himself, he just seems so, you can't pinpoint his intent. Mm-hmm. And I think that itself is really eerie, especially like whenever he brings Basil up to his room, and you can tell because of how corrupted the painting is and how much panic he feels that Basil now knows that he decides to just kill him.
Yeah.
That, and then I think when he receives a letter about Sybil killing herself, and because that caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah.
Those two scenes really they hit me.
And you just like stone-faced it throughout it all, like killing his best friend, and
never showed any emotion at all. Drops the knife and then uses the same knife later to stab the painting. It's just incredible.
There's a lot going on in this movie about the corruption of a soul, or the losing of oneself if you don't have morality or any sense of shame, guilt, anything like that. He shows, a perfectly fine outside, but inside, he's rotting to the core, and that's what the portrait is supposed to symbolize.
Because that's why it looks infected. If you look at the portrait, it's got like blisters all over it and stuff.
Every single sinful act or every morally dubious thing he done, like I shoplifted some apples. And
it adds a spore to that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do you think that is a good representation of how someone would be if they were able to live forever with no qualms about what they did or who they affected?
If I looked like him, he's a good-looking guy. I think my gut reaction is no. I think I want to say I could control it, but I think inevitably the answer would end up just being yes, because you would have to move all the time, because just like it happens in the movie, 20 years goes by and he looks the exact same. The town is going to start spreading rumors. It's going to make you want to act out. So he has to relocate all the time. He'll never find love. So I think it eventually just becomes inevitable. It just happens.
It's like vampirism, but not as cool.
Not as cool,
You don't get like a coffin and get to wear black and red.
And have a really cool collar that stands up,
Or the pointy teeth.
Yeah.
This being your first time viewing of it, if you were to give it a rating, like 0 to 10, assuming you enjoyed the film, where are we placing this?
I would land around a 7. I think 7 sounds right. It was a really enjoyable experience. It had a lot of layers to it. It felt like the kind of movie that you should watch more than once to really understand and get a grip of how Dorian really feels and kind of what the movie is going for. Some small complaints, but nothing too crazy, especially for a movie that came out in 1945.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think a 7 is a solid rating.
That's very good. This isn't like a typical horror movie. Like, there's not a monster or a masked killer or anything. It's the corruption of man. That is the horror of what we are capable of being, of becoming. It is an outlier in 50 Nights of Fright, but do you think it still belongs on a list? Does it stand up as an icon of horror, or should it be left off?
I think it belongs on a 50 Nights of Fright's list because it definitely is a horror movie, but it's just a different kind of horror, right? And so what I mean by that is, if you look at someone like, take Jason Voorhees for an example, you could claim that Jason Voorhees is not a human, he is a monster, but you can also make the same claim for Dorian because he loses his soul, he loses his humanity, and he ends up killing his best friend. His wife, or his love interest at the time, kills herself. He has absolutely no reaction. He doesn't care. And so I think that in itself is horrific, so I would say yes. It belongs.
All right, good to hear. Thank you so much for joining us once again on 50 Nights of Fright. Be sure to tune in tomorrow where we cover Creature from the Black Lagoon.